Hello and welcome to Liberation Tarot. This is Leah, and today is a very, very special episode of Liberation Tarot. Today is the new moon in Gemini, and we'll be doing a reading for the week of May 22nd to May 29th, but it won't be me this time. It'll be my badass, super queenly, old friend, not like she's old, like our friendship is old, Meaghan. And, and Meaghan is going to be joining us, and she's actually my original tarot queen. She was doing tarot before anyone else I knew was doing tarot, and it took me many years to catch up. And now, through our parallel evolutions, her starting a little earlier, we've come together as a tarot doing force. It's been really fun to explore tarot together. And I'm really excited to have her here on the show. And just to give her a few more props, she is not only a badass tarot queen, but she is a feminist that works for women and works for girls' empowerment. And I've been so proud to see all the work that she's doing in the world. And she's also a Spanish teacher and has worked in Costa Rica and worked with young people of all ages. And it's so cool to be with her as she evolves, and I'm happy to have her here today. So, Meaghan, will you introduce yourself a little more and let us know about this tarot spread you want to do?
Yes, hello. Thank you so much for having me on. Yeah, like Leah said, we go back a couple of decades, and it's been a couple of decades of magic and love and distance, but always coming back together. And most recently, I think what's really brought us back together has been tarot, and it's just like exciting and magical. Like I said, I love it. And thank you for that fabulous introduction. I feel super hype right now. Like I feel like I want to flex a little bit. And yeah, so I'm Meaghan. I'm from Michigan. And I've traveled quite extensively in the past several years, and I'm now back home in Michigan, where there are seasons, and it is spring, which is so welcomed. It is so welcomed. And yeah, I mean, it's been interesting as spring is coming to life. I feel like I am coming to life again, and I feel, especially, this new moon in Gemini, I feel that kind of like anxious, like kind of go, can't really focus, kind of aspects of Gemini, and just very kind of like surface level on everything, unable to really like I said, focus deeply and intently on stuff, and just like squirrel brain, pretty much, is the best way to explain it. And and one of the number one ways that I allow myself to go within is through tarot. It is usually, a lovely 20 minutes of my life where I am breathing deeper, I feel grounded, I feel open, and I just feel empowered. So that is just, I think, one of the greatest things of tarot. And so what I'm going to talk about quickly today is the Rebirth Tarot spread that I think aligns really well with the new moon. New moons being a great time for intention setting, new beginnings, really just kind of stepping out of those shadows and allowing yourself to be unattached from everything that has been weighing you down or holding you back, and to start fresh. And so this Rebirth Tarot spread is very simple. It's just a 5-card pull. And I start with the first card on the right-hand side, and then I move in a clockward position. And the first card on the right is representative of the parts that you are letting go. So any of those shadow aspects of your soul that it's time to let go of in order to really truly start those new beginnings. And then my card that I did this tarot spread a few hours ago, and the card that I pulled was the Knight of Wands. This is my very first tarot deck, and I've gotten several tarot decks since then, but this is just the one. It just feels right. It's curved to the shape of my body, and I don't know, it just feels good. So so the first one I drew was the parts to let go, Knight of Wands, and I drew it reversed, which tends to mean anger and impulsiveness, passion that has been not controlled, acting without real regards for consequences, and just like general anger for not getting your way, for not being able to control things, which is dead on for what's been going on in my life right now, and what I really do need to work on releasing. And then number 2, the second card is going to be at the 6 o'clock position on the clock. And that is how to let go of these things. So number 1, what you're letting go. Number 2, how to let that go. And I got the 9 of Pentacles. And again, I got this one reversed. So upright, the 9 of Pentacles is opulence and luxury and, all of the material wealth of the world. All of the benefits that you receive from working hard in a capitalist society like we, live in. Reversed, however, means, obsession with that work, making mistakes, working hard, but having setbacks and blocks from reaching your goals. And it can also represent the need to focus on self-control, which will then lead to emotional security. Hi, Ramon. So I took that as, how do I let go of all this anger and this, unbridled passion and wanting to control everything. I took that as, not being so upset about the setbacks, not being so upset about, not being so obsessed with my work and not being so obsessed with having to control every little aspect, every little detail. And in doing so, I will find that emotional peace that I am so craving. At the 9 o'clock point is the third card you will lay, and this is who you are becoming. So in this new moon, what newness is being birthed? What is, what's coming up? Who are you becoming? And I got the Ace of Pentacles, another pentacle, and I got this one upright, which is opportunity, prosperity, new venture, full of abundance in the physical realm. And that was really, really relieving to me because, in these times right now of, a global pandemic and whatnot, I have been really nervous about losing my job and not being able to, you know, take care of myself. And this just kind of gave me a reminder of no matter what happens, no matter who I become, no matter what is to become of, the material, the physical world around me, I'm going to be okay. And that's something I've really been focused on is in my growth and my own personal growth is trusting in the universe and trusting that I am deserving of abundance and trusting that I have the answers within and that I will be okay no matter what. So that was comforting. Super comforting. At the 12 o'clock, so we've gone 1, 2, 3. Now we're at the fourth card, 12 o'clock. This is how to continue growing. So how do you continue this rebirth? How do you feed the soil? And I got King of Cups, which I'm a water sign, so I love all the cup cards. And I got him reversed, which, the King of Cups is typically somebody who has very stable emotions, and is able to control them, has a very deep understanding of their emotions, and is able to tap into them in a positive way and use them when they're necessary and ignore them when they're not. And reversed is just kind of here, I'll reverse it. Reversed King of Cups is just kind of a reminder to realize when you're losing grip, when you are losing grip of those emotions, when you're losing grip of reality, when you are getting stuck in that squirrel brain and you're going, round and round and spiraling down into the what ifs and the oh no's and the well, if this happens, what, I'm not going to be able to survive, like just that craziness. So it's just a good reminder in order to keep growing, I have to be constantly aware of what is going on in my mind as well as in my soul. I have to constantly check in. I have to constantly remind myself to stay present and to remember that in this present moment, all is well. And anxiety about the future is not going to help anything. So in order to truly grow, in abundance, I need to check in and even if, when I do check in, I find that I am in a dark place. I'm being negative. I am filled with grief and, overwhelmed with whatever that negative emotion is, to just feel it and to just sit in it and to just remind myself that it's just an emotion and it will pass. And so that was just another really comforting message. And then number 5 is right in the middle of the clock. So the 5th card is right in the middle of the clock, and that is I said cock. And that is a message from the universe about my rebirth. And I got the star, which is, yes, I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards, honestly. And look at her. She's so beautiful and naked and yum. And it's just a reminder to trust in the universe. So I've got a message from the universe saying, trust me. And it also symbolizes rebirth and rebuilding after the collapse of the tower. So the star card comes directly after the tower card. And, the tower symbolizes collapse and ruin and the ending of one chapter. So not necessarily always bad, because some things need to end. Yeah. And so this is just rebuilding and rebirth and hope and focusing on the positives and trusting yourself, trusting that you are the universe. And yeah, so just a real quick, easy reading on rebirth. Again, following the clock, starting at 3:00 with your first card, then 6, then 9, then 12, and then a message from the universe in the middle. And it's clear and it's focused, especially if you put some good, a little bit of time into meditation beforehand. And it was a great reading, and I felt immediately just silly. Honestly, I felt silly because before I did the reading, I was stressing about work and stressing about this quarantine and the pandemic and all the people that are suffering that I can't help, and just everything, absolutely everything, and how I'm not doing enough, and et cetera, et cetera. And then I did this reading and I was like, why can't you just remember this all the time? And that's, what I'm really hoping that this rebirth comes. I hope in the next month that, as we move into the full moon, that I am really able to cultivate this ability to truly be present and to truly remember, to let go and to trust and to keep doing the next right thing. And that all will be well, as I will it, so mote it be.
Wow. That's an amazing spread you pulled. Did you pull that just this morning?
Yeah, well, at noon on my
Wow.
lunch break.
That's wonderful. Oh, thank you. And I love the way you describe the upright and the reverse. And I think it's so wonderful that you got the Ace of Pentacles and the Star all in there to remind you of all that abundance that's already there and of all the things on the horizon that are just starting to sparkle and just starting to manifest. And there's just so much goodness in there. And I love how you have these pentacles guiding you and this water guiding you, this sort of cool, watery earth guiding you, to cool off at this time of overactivation in this world. So what a beautiful spread. And we will post it as in text, written text down below the video, just so folks can see it written out. And I think we only have a minute or so before this shuts off. So in the next 30 seconds, would you like to share with us what you love the most about tarot?
Yeah, my favorite thing about tarot is its ability to remind me of the oneness of everything. It really, truly, and sometimes it gets, you'll get a reading and you're like, this makes no sense and everything. But that's usually because you're trying to project the answer you want onto the reading. But typically, I would say more times than not, it really is a reminder of, oh yes, we are all one. Everything that flows through me flows through everything, and vice versa. And the answers are there if I just open myself up to it. It's within me. It's within all of us. We all have the answers to anything we question. So
wow, I love that. It's like the multifaceted diamond of reality. There's just so many different faces to this one reality.
yep.
And tarot helps us see that. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Meaghan,
Uh,
for joining. This is so
I am honored.
This is so special. Thanks for being my very first guest. And it's so appropriate because you're my original tarot queen. So it makes absolute sense that you would be my first tarot guest.
I
And
am so honored.
yeah, and I love this spread. I can't wait. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it on this new moon. And I feel like it is really clear. So thank you for sharing this gift with all of us.
Of course. Yes. Blessings to everybody. Mwah.
Yes, thank you. We feel it. And blessings to everybody from me as well. And to you, Meaghan, I love you. Thank you for being here.
Of course. Anytime, sister.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.